went to a singles event last night in downtown Phoenix. I had seen their events on TikTok and it looked super fun, but it was not what I thought it was gonna be. Like, I swear on the TikTok that I saw was that they had you fill out a questionnaire, and at some point in the night they like grouped people into groups so that you could mingle and get to know people out of your comfort zone, whatever. That's not what happened last night. It was at Pemberton, but the bar was still open to the public, so the event was just sectioned off in half the bar. But once you got into the event area, it was just like you were at a bar. There was nothing that made it special to a singles event to help you try to get to know people besides everyone in the bar was single. But then to enjoy like Pemberton, you had to go out of the event area to get drinks. So like I paid for a ticket for like a private area of the bar, but it kind of defeated the purpose. I still had a fun night with my girls. I would highly not recommend going by yourself. There was like hundreds of people at this thing. There's no way I could have gone alone.
The signs are everywhere: single events, speed dating nights, and mixers once packed with hopeful men and women are now half empty. But there's something new this time: the women are showing up, and the men aren't.
I refuse to go to any more singles events, and this is why. So I've been to 4 different singles events in my time, in the past year, I would say. 3 of them were speed dating, and 1 of them was like a mixer, okay? And every single time I go to these things, I stay open-minded and I think, look, you never know who you could meet, you know, just give it a go. And also, you know what, if you don't meet anyone, it's fine. You're going to have a good time. Okay, that is the positive. I always do have a good time, okay? So I'm not knocking that side of it. But as far as eligible bachelors go, oh, sorry, by the way, this is hot chocolate that I spilled on myself. Anyway, so as far as eligible bachelors go, there's not many of them at these events, okay? And if anybody else has been to these events, let me know, because honestly, is this a nationwide thing? I don't know. But essentially, every time I go, there's like, you know, these are the categories of people that you meet, okay? You meet the ones that live far away. Why have you come to these events if you live far away? Pointless, okay? Pointless. Sometimes you get the people that go there for a bit of a joke. Fine, good, have a good time, but they're not usually serious. Then you get the ones that are like ready for marriage. They're like, you know, they're coming in with a goal and they are not leaving until they get that goal. So you get, you know, some of them that are very serious. And then you get, I don't know how to say this without being offensive, but you get the leftover.
Videos are surfacing of modern women complaining that no good men come to these events anymore. They're shocked, confused, and asking, where did all the men go? The answer is simple: men are done playing a losing game.
You know, the men that struggle in like romantic situations, and or maybe like talking to people. So I always feel sorry for those ones. So I chat to them and I sort of, you know, whatever. But last night, okay, so there was this one guy there, and like I'm chatting to him, you know, just sort of felt bad. He was on his own, you know. There was no obviously romantic connection or anything there, but he was like, he asked me out and I said no, and then I said I'm gonna go, and he gave me a hug and he squeezed me and he like sort of caressed my hand, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, how many more times can I turn up to these events and try to be nice and polite and open, and then it's just like, yeah. And also, let me tell you, the girls, right, you meet the best girls there. I met some great friends at these events, and all of us say, like, what is going on? Like, why is this the caliber of men that these events attract? And I genuinely think that maybe the men that I'm looking for, they don't have to go to these events. Yeah. And it's just like, you want to be positive and you want to, like, you know, like say to yourself, like, I don't want to say like, oh, the dating pool is bad and everything, because again, you will believe that and it will, you know, you will look at the world that way. So I don't want to look at it like that, but I'm just frustrated because, like, I just, can somebody vet the people going to these events, please? Especially the men. Can somebody vet them? Because it's just not popping. It's just not. So that's my conclusion on these events. But I don't know if anybody else has been to them or what you think, or if you've actually met someone through these events. But yeah, it's not working. It's not working.
For years, dating events were marketed to women as a place to find high-quality men. But as time went on, the same women who ignored genuine men online started showing up in person, still expecting the same treatment, validation, and attention. The problem? Men have woken up. They've seen the double standards, the unrealistic expectations, and the disrespect. They're not desperate anymore. They're selective, and they've chosen peace over chaos.
I think it's perfectly socially acceptable to go on dates as a hobby. Like one of my hobbies is going on first dates. And here I am. I go on the first date, like, sure, yeah, to meet the guy, to talk, get to know them, tell them about me, like, see if there's potential love there, like, whatever. Like, that's a small part of it. A big part of it is that I go and I get to try a new restaurant or a new spot in Boston. And usually, if not always, it's fun to buy the guy. So I'm like, ooh, like, let's go explore a little bit. Let's try to, like, grow what I know about my city. And then when I go out with my friends, I can be like, oh my god, I went to this really cool new spot. Like, let me show you. So I always try to get the guy to, like, pick a restaurant that I haven't been to yet, or pick a cool new up-and-coming spot or whatever. So anyway, today we are going to the F1 arcade in Seaport, which I haven't been to, but it's like run by like the F1 racing company or whatever, and it's got like all these like simulators and I don't know, like professional race car driving games. So that's what we're doing today. Never been. The offer was that or Pet Shack, and I'm like, I've already done Pet Shack, and like Cisco's right there, so that might be a part of it. But I'm really excited to go and check it out and try something new and explore more of my city. Because if I'm gonna go on a date and like this guy might be great, but you know, he might also just like, most likely most of them are just like not my vibe, like, and that's fine. But at least I'm gonna go try a new spot.
Last year, I saw so many Black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for Black creatives did like this Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not want to try. They don't want to approach. No matter how you curate different activities to get them interested, they're not. And I'm not saying that men who seriously want to date don't exist, but I think on a large scale in major cities, the dating events, you know, all these creative ways that we're trying to get them interested, they're not there. I don't think that these men are tapped into social media. I really don't. I think that they are locked in on their hobbies and in communities that matter to them.
Clips from singles nights show tables full of women, phones in hand, scanning the room, only to find empty chairs. No men to impress, no one to talk to. The frustration is written all over their faces. Some even start asking, where are the good men? But the truth is those men are out there. They're just not showing up to events designed to make them compete for people who never respected them in the first place.
Question for single men. What is your thought on dating a woman that has children? That can be 1, that can be 4, whatever. Is it a hard no for you? Do you not care? Is it dependent upon what that lady's life is like that she can take care of her own children on her own without you? What are some factors that go into it? Also, if it's a hard no, I'm really curious to know, do you have children? Also, what is your age? As you get older, I would assume if you're wanting women the same age as you or around there, a lot of them are going to have children. They will have been divorced. If they're in their late 30s and they don't, or they've never been married or whatever, and I think the same for men, kind of a red flag. So curious on men's opinions on this. Women with children, do they care? Will they date them? Is that an obstacle, or does it not matter? Let me know in the comments.
Modern men have learned that the effort isn't worth the reward. Why spend money, time, and energy trying to impress women who come with a list of demands, no gratitude, and unrealistic expectations? Many of these men have turned to self-improvement, business, fitness, or solitude. They've realized that validation doesn't come from female approval, it comes from personal growth. And now, women are stunned to find out that the attention they once took for granted is gone.
Okay, so I am back from the Tantra speed dating event. It was long. It started at 6:30 and we didn't leave until like 10. But it was better than I expected. I thoroughly expected that it was going to be really uncomfortable, really awkward. To be truly honest, I thought that it would attract men who were on the creepier side because of the word tantra. And, I just assumed because of that word that it would attract men who sort of just wanted to touch women or hug women or try to like talk about sex. But it really wasn't that way. So you arrive and there's like an icebreaker where they give you like a card with a question on it and you can go and talk to people. And then there's like a whole long, it's too long in my opinion. It seemed like it was like an hour, like an opening sort of ceremony. Where there were rules and explanations and introductions. And that was fine. It was just a bit long. And then we actually started. And basically, the women have a circle inside and the men have a circle outside of the ring of women. And so you have an exercise, and then the woman can drop her bead into his pouch, or like a fake, like pretend to drop a bead into his pouch. And then you do that with each person, an exercise, and then you either drop a bead if you want to continue the connection, or you pretend to drop a bead. And the exercises were interesting. They weren't sort of as uncomfortable as I had thought. There were several like holding the other person exercises, which to me was a bit much, but it was also okay. I just wish it wasn't as long as it was. They were quite long. And I feel like that type of immediate intimacy is a bit much. But you always have the option to opt out.
The same women who ignored nice guys in their 20s and 30s are now looking for them at singles events, but the seats are empty. The men who were once waiting in line are gone, and they're not coming back. Women are learning that you can't mock, belittle, and dismiss men for years, then expect them to show up when it's convenient.
And do something different. And I saw a lot of people doing that. So, and the host makes it really clear that you can opt out. The quality of the people there was way better than I expected. There weren't any creepy people that I could sense. Everyone seemed really present and engaged and thoughtful and kind. And I really liked the quantity of people. Like, gosh, I had to have met like at least 15 or more men. And overall, I'm glad I did it. I'm exhausted. I went hiking this morning and I didn't eat dinner. So I got back and just rushed to get dressed. Also, I was going to wear like a skirt and knee-high boots, but you're barefoot or, you know, in your socks, and you have to like sit on the ground a lot. So it's important to wear pants, and I'm glad I wore pants. Overall, I would do it again. Like, I've spent time at other speed dating events, and this was definitely the best one. It was worth the time, the effort. I think it was really, really surprising. Yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know and I will answer them. I think I covered the basics, and I don't know, we'll see if I get any matches. I probably put my bead into, I don't know, a few men's pouches. So we'll see what happens.
So I'm hosting a speed dating event, and like 9 women have showed up and only 2 males. Why? And like 7 males pay for tickets. So I don't know why. Why don't men come to speed dating events?
The truth is simple. Modern dating is collapsing because men have stopped playing a rigged game. Singles events aren't dying by accident, they're dying because men finally walked away. This has been the Sigma Chronicles, where truth cuts deeper than comfort. Stay sharp. Stay Sigma.
If you see a pretty girl at a bar, at a restaurant, send her a drink or an appetizer. Spend the $10 to impress her. Don't just come over and tell her how pretty she is. We like actions. So, send her a drink. Send her an appetizer. Do something nice. Girls like that. Don't just stare at them or be afraid to go talk to them. That's another thing. Girls like aggressive guys. Guys that aren't afraid. Well, aggressive in the right kind of way. Aggressive like polite, chivalry. You know, all those nice things. We like to be wined and dined. I didn't invent it. It's just how it works. So, dating tip for you boys: if you see a pretty girl, send her a drink, send her an appetizer, do something sweet. We like that. Just don't sit across the bar and stare at her, please. Anyway, hope you're having a great day.
That's today's chapter of the Sigma Chronicles. Subscribe for more unfiltered reality.